Well, hello everybody. Happy New Year. I'm doing my yearly review. So this is how things went in 2025. But I want to start off with the fact that I don't do videos very often anymore, but I do daily posts. If you go to click on posts in my channel, I do a daily post every day after the market closes. And every Friday, I run a total list of my stocks that I'm in and how they've done for the week. So you're welcome to follow along, and you can also comment in there if you want. And I'd appreciate it if you like and subscribe to my channel. It doesn't cost anything to do that, and it just helps my channel in general. So anyway, for the year 2025, my portfolio was up 38.14%, which compounded was my best year ever. What I mean by compounded is in 2024, I did 49.68%. 2023, I was up 60.62%. So, that's all compounded. So a 38.14% return is actually, when you add it all up, it's going to be better than any of the previous returns. So, but I hit rock bottom on April 26th and 22, and I'm now up since then to the end of 25, 270.78% on my portfolio. So, all in all, it's been pretty incredible run for me. I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. I'm just shy of my all-time high, just like a few $100 basically. Probably will hit that this upcoming week because it's looking like it could be another good week. I made 105 buys last year and 57 sells. So it was a pretty active year for trades, but I've had years where it's been a lot less, and I've had years where it's been a lot more. So I'd say it's probably about average when you add it all up. My biggest highlight of the year was on April 9th when my portfolio was up 16% in one day. It was just incredible. Unbelievable day. I doubt I'll ever see a day like that again, to tell you the truth. So, but markets bottomed on April 4th. So, and then come April 9th, it just skyrocketed. The sad thing is, we had a fall, not too long after that, things kind of fell apart, and I pretty much lost all those gains. But, as it turned out, I mean, if you look at the QQQ, which is index fund for the NASDAQ, since April 9th, it's basically just been up the rest of the year. And, it turned out to be just an incredible year. So I'm going to go over my positions here. At the end of 2025, I had 14.3% of my portfolio was NVIDIA. NVIDIA was up 30.72% for the year. 13.6% of Aritzia up, and it was up 103.44% for the year. 7.8% Palantir, and it was up 110.11%. 7.3% of Amazon, and it was only up 1.03. Amazon basically traded sideways for most of the year, but it's starting to come on now. Obviously, the 1.03% doesn't reflect that because it's just started to take off here in 2026. Meta, 6.9%, and it was up 7.57% for the year. Another stock that really didn't move a whole lot, but I think it's about to take off. I'm pretty sure with all the AI happening, it should start to move pretty good in 2026, but that does remain to be seen. Google is 6.9% of my portfolio, and it was up 63.27% last year. SoFi, 5.8%, and it was up 85.04%. With SoFi, I actually got stopped out on it a few months ago, and I think, it was 27.42 I got stopped out at, and not too long after I started rebuying it at under that price. So I've done pretty well on that. I mean, it hasn't really done a whole lot in recent times, but it's another one that should take off in 2026. Avgo, which is Broadcom, 4.9% of my portfolio, and it was up 49.48% for the year. TNA, which is my triple leveraged ETF for basically IWM, which is small cap stocks. It was 4.6% of my portfolio as of the end of 2025, and it was up 7.10% for the year, but it is really starting to take off in 2026. I'm up way more than that now. Netflix, 4.5% of my portfolio, and it was up 3.27% for the year. Now, there's been a lot of controversy with Netflix because of the Warner Brothers uncertainty. So I've been buying that stock like crazy as it's been falling. I've been buying the dip, and it is going to take off. Once this uncertainty stops, it's going to really start taking off. I don't believe I've made the wrong move by continuing to buy it. So we'll see what happens though. Apple, AAPL, up 4.5% of my portfolio, and it was up 11.36% for the year. Microsoft, 3.9% of my portfolio, up 11.71% for the year. And then APLD. Now this is an AI stock. Basically, they build data centers and that. It's really taking off now. Anyway, it's 3.7% of my portfolio as of the end of the year, and it was up 208.36% for the year. It along with a lot of AI, small cap AI stocks, they went into a bit of a tailspin for a while, but they're really taking off again now. It had a great week last week for me. Tesla, which I recently got back into, 2.8% of my portfolio, and it was up 6.73 for the year. VOO, which is the index fund for the S&P 500, 2.5% of my portfolio, and it was up 15.41% for the year. Resolve. Now this is a very risky play. It's 2.4% of my portfolio, and it was down 53.56%, but it just since the beginning of the year, it's taken off, and it's up since December 31st, up 46%. So I've mostly recovered my losses on that. I am significantly down. I think I'm about 20% underwater on that right now. But this upcoming week could be a really good week for Resolve. Ticker symbol RZLV, because they have a big shareholders meeting on Tuesday, and there could quite possibly be a big short squeeze tomorrow on Resolve, leading up to that meeting. So could be a very interesting week for it. QQQ, which is index fund for the NASDAQ, 1.3% of my portfolio, and it was up 18.23% in 2025. CP, 0.9% of my portfolio, down 4.19% for the year. That's one that I'm probably going to dump pretty quick. It just isn't performing for me. I think I'm up about 8% on it, but I've been in that now for probably 5 or 6 years, and it's really basically traded sideways. So I'm probably going to make a move with that fairly soon. Okay, NBIS, 0.8% of my portfolio, and it was up 188.49% in 2025. And Grab, I sold just the other day, so I don't need to mention that anymore. And then ZDC, which is a Canadian company, 0.2% of my portfolio. It's actually a little bit more now because I added to that on a huge dip that it had last week. But it was up 72.48% for the year. It had a day last week where it was down about 16%. So I bought the dip on that and added shares as well. I basically tripled my position on it. And the very next day, it was up huge, and then it was up again the next day. So it looks like I made the right move on that. But that's probably pretty much covers the year. Again, my best year ever, especially when you look at the compounded return. 2026 is looking like it's going to be another good one. So, obviously that remains to be seen. But I hope everybody else is doing well out there. I don't see how anybody could not be doing well in this market, especially if you're dollar cost averaging into positions. You had to have had a good year. There is a couple other things I just wanted to mention here. I want to say that AI has been amazing for me for researching stocks. Like I use Grok, which is the old Twitter, which is now X format. Incredible for research. Like I can just ask a stock to analyze, or ask Grok to analyze a stock for me, and it does it within 5 seconds. And it's been really helpful for me, so I encourage everybody to take advantage of that. It's unbelievable. It certainly should be part of your research. And I want to give a shout out to the Creative Investor. He's my go-to when it comes to analyzing the market in general. He does a great job, and he's usually bang on, and he's only in his mid-30s, but he really knows his stuff, and he's just pretty much bang on all the time. And he's given me a few stocks that have done really well for me as well. He doesn't go heavy on individual stocks. He's more into analyzing what's going on. And he's really been very helpful. I really recommend everybody watch him daily. you know. Stocks with Josh is another pretty good channel. He does a little bit more of individual stocks, but he's a pretty knowledgeable guy too. Anyway, I think that about does it for my year-end review. Again, remember to check out my daily posts. Just come to the channel and click on posts, and you know, I post there every day the market is open. So I think that's it. I will be doing videos from time to time, certainly a year-end video. But that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching, everybody. And again, Happy New Year to you.